A New York City Council employee is free after 5 months in federal immigration detention, and that's the story we're diving into today. Rafael Andres Rubio Bojorquez, a Venezuelan data analyst who worked for the New York City Council, was detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement back in January during what was supposed to be a routine immigration appointment on Long Island. For 158 days, he sat in detention facilities across Orange County, Brooklyn, and Newark, and by his own account, the conditions were brutal. He said he was denied medication for high blood pressure, placed in isolation for nearly 2 weeks, and regularly served spoiled milk. "They treat people like garbage," he said. His case immediately drew outrage from city leaders, particularly City Council Speaker Julie Menin, who held a news conference the very night of his arrest and disputed the federal government's characterization of him. The Department of Homeland Security had called Rubio Bojorquez a, quote, criminal illegal alien, pointing to an arrest for assault and harassment in 2023, but those charges were later dismissed. Menin said the arrest stemmed from an incident where it was actually Rubio Bojorquez who had been assaulted by a roommate, and he had defended himself. The New York Times found no evidence of a criminal record. The government also argued he had no authorization to work, that he'd overstayed a tourist visa from 2017, and that his temporary legal status had been terminated. Menin's office pushed back, saying he held temporary protected status, a humanitarian program extended to Venezuelans under President Biden, giving him legal authorization to remain and work in the United States through October 2026. President Trump has since revoked that status for Venezuelans broadly. Rubio Bojorquez's case hinged on something almost procedural, a missing signature in an earlier asylum application. After he brought on a new legal team from the Bronx defenders, his case was reopened. His lawyers argued he had fled Venezuela because, as a government employee there, he had refused to cooperate with the regime and was persecuted for it. On May 27, an immigration judge granted him asylum. Then, on June 19, after his lawyers won a separate federal court challenge to the legality of his detention, he was freed on a $5,000 bond. He is now back in New York City, back at his job at City Hall, and Menin says he'll be celebrated there next week. But his relief is complicated. The federal government filed a last-minute appeal of the asylum decision on Friday night, meaning his future in this country remains uncertain. And Rubio Bojorquez himself said he cried during a phone interview not just from relief, but because others are still inside. His lawyer at the Bronx Defenders put it plainly, hundreds of Rafaels are sitting in detention now for similar reasons. His case is a window into what immigration enforcement looks like for people with political allies, legal resources, and public attention on their side, and a reminder of how many others have none of those things.